Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. Wow. Wow. Appreciate you guys for joining me today on another edition of True Crime with Strategic Eyes. I got a great show for you today. The case that keeps us giving. The case that keeps giving, the saga of Stephan Stearns. Yes, we have another jail phone call. Like, we should just not even be excited about this because in all actuality, we're just going to get so many more. There's so much information that is yet to be released by prosecutors, the defense, discovery, and these other entities that are not involved now, like the Osceola County jail system, the sheriff's department. So we're going to continue to receive FOIA requests. It's going to show Stephan Stearns' dirty laundry, air out his conversations with his loved ones, etc., etc., etc. So it's going to definitely be the gift that keeps on giving until we get justice for Maddie, ladies and gentlemen. So join me on this journey, man. Keep tuning in and we'll keep covering it, but we'll also cover other things as well. We got a very interesting show that we're going to probably cover either tomorrow or Monday on a very unfortunate little girl who, oh man, her case is still unsolved, but I'm going to save that case for when we cover it. I want to give you guys a heads up. I want to literally surprise you guys because you guys know I'm terrible with surprises. Terrible. I always give it away, you know, even on the show, man. I'll tell you the end of the show and the beginning of the show, and I hope you stick around to the end. Does that make sense? Oh my God, I don't even have my does that make sense. Harry, let's try that again. Does that make sense?
Does that make sense?
Oh man, it doesn't make sense.
Does that make sense?
Anyway, guys, you guys are amazing, man. So thank you so much for being such loyal and amazing followers of the show. Not followers of me. I am just a person, but of the show. You guys believe in the mission. The mission is greater than the man, okay? I am just a man with a mic who likes to hear himself talk, okay? The mission is greater than the man. You guys believe in the mission. You guys come in and you support me day in and day out. And please know that that does not go unnoticed. I believe that you guys are the greatest audience on YouTube. So thank you so much for supporting me yet again. So we're going to jump into this because I got to go to work. And I can't be late for work because we're short staffed. So I know as soon as I come in, I got another case. Even though I caught a case last night, I know it's just going to be like 3 of us working. So I know I'm going to catch another case, possibly 2 today. So it's going to be real busy. Oh man, just talking about it makes me start feeling a little sick, and maybe I need to call out because I'm not feeling when I would never do that. I'm too committed to the mission. I'm too committed to the victims out there. I think too committed because sometimes I put the mission before my personal life, and I should not do that. I know I have a duty to the victims, but I also have a duty to myself. So there's a balance we got to keep, that we still allow ourselves to enjoy life while still fighting for justice for the victim. So anyway, I'm going on a tangent. Let's get back to where we need to be. First of all, please make sure that you hit that like button. Hit that like button, support the channel. We need that support. If you can, get into that comment section and say something. We got a lot of people who like to just listen. Sometimes they're doing other things. They're doing chores. They're relaxing. They're on TV, so it's harder for them to comment. But if you can find a way, if you're on a TV, because a lot of people watch this show on the TV. I'm a celebrity, mommy. I'm a celebrity. People watch me on TV. A lot of people stream this show on their TV. Please do your research and find a way to hit that thumbs up when you stream on the TV, because a large part of my audience, so we're missing out on a lot of likes that can help propel this show into the algorithm just because you guys are listening on your TV. So if you're listening on the TV, you got your cell phone next to you, log into the show on your cell phone and do 2 things for me. Hit that like button and also put something in the comment section. Even if it's just hi, that's good enough. That gets us into the algorithm. Believe me, I'm not a child. I don't care about likes, but I have to care about them because that's how YouTube functions. That's why we ask you. It's not for our egos. It's because it's the only way the show will grow. It's the only way we can be shown to a wider audience. Big shout out to Joyous N with a $20 super chat. Says, you are amazing. No, I'm not amazing. I'm just a guy with a mic. You are amazing. You are supporting me on this journey, and you are appreciated. So thank you so much, Joyous N, for your generosity. It's very kind of you, and we definitely need the support. Now, let's get into our preamble. where we're going to validate to YouTube why they should monetize this show. So YouTube gods, the reason why you should monetize the show is because we're upfront and we're going to be honest about what we're doing here. And what we're doing here is for adults only. Warning, adult content only. We only make shows for adults 18 and up. And when we make these shows, we're doing it not from an entertainment perspective. Sometimes it's entertainment, we'll let you guys know. But for the most part, we're doing it from a professional, educational perspective. Now, what gives me the authority, as Cartman loves to say on South Park, to talk about this from an educational perspective? Well, that's 18 and a half years of law enforcement experience and almost 14 and a half years as an actual sex crimes investigator. Oh my, come on. Why is this just going in my ear? I hope you guys couldn't hear that. Oh no, you guys can't hear it. Great. It's my Meta glasses. So I'm getting a message and I thought my phone had like synced up with the show. So I'm hearing this message with my Meta glasses, but it sounds like it's coming through the headphones. So great. Okay. The Meta glasses reads out your messages. That's why I was like, oh my God, I hope they can't hear the message that I'm getting right now. Anyway, so what gives me the authority to do that is 18 and a half years of experience and 14 and a half years being a sex crimes detective for various law enforcement agencies. All right. Right now, I'm an active duty detective that investigates sex crimes. I am a SVU detective. Now, all of my opinions are my own. They're all my own. I'm not a spokesperson for my agency, but my opinions are informed by my experience that I've worked really hard to obtain, and that is a part of me. I can't separate myself from my experience because it's lived and learned experience. So that being said, viewer discretion is advised. And before we jump into this, we're going to be using Plunder's Patreon, where she has the audio recording of the jail call, right? So we're going to be using Plunder. So as I've said before, I'm not getting a cut from Plunder. Me and Plunder are not friends. I don't know her. What I do know is she is an excellent YouTuber, and her Patreon is a vast knowledge of true crime material. So if you want the phone calls, documents from the Madeline Soto case, and a myriad of other cases, I would definitely encourage you to consider joining her Patreon. And while you're at it, join Minds too, because Minds is fire, okay? We're having a great time on that Patreon. Everybody who's a part of it is like, yo, I love it. And when I look at my metrics, people aren't leaving. When they come, they stay. There's a reason why when they come, they stay, because we're doing a lot of cool things on that Patreon. All right. So that being said, let me go to the comment section and make sure I show my people love. And then we're going to get started with these phone calls, because you guys are the most important part of the show. Some people get mad. Can you just get to the material? No, you could go somewhere else where they get straight to the material. Here on True Crime with Strategic, we appreciate our audience. You are a part of the show, so we will forever shout you out when you come and support us. So let me see what's going on here. All right. So we got Rachel Burton, who's celebrating 4 months as a recruit. Thank you so much. Actually, let me go to the screen right here. It's easier to see. So we got Just Moon, who's a patrol member. Welcome to the family. Jamie MP gave us a $5 super chat with a sticker saying hype. Queen Olive has just joined us as a recruit. Thank you so much. Lucifer the Dope Man with a $2 super chat says, sending love from Vancouver Island. Thank you so much, Lucifer. Lucifer has been with me for a very, very, very long time, for years, and we do appreciate Lucifer transitioning over to true crime, because at that time we were talking politics and policing and all that stuff, and she transitioned over with us, and not that many people did. A lot of people prefer what Strategic was talking about before, but my heart wasn't into it. My heart is in true crime, so I got to follow my heart. Rachel Burton with a 4-month recruit membership. Thank you much, celebrating that 4 months. We already shouted out Joyce N with that very generous super chat, and Jesse Venezia with a $2.49 super chat says, big salute, Detective Strategic. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you. Big salute to you for supporting the channel. Tina is celebrating 6 months as a recruit. 6 months, man. That's awesome. Thank you, Tina. And Miss Melanie 83 with a $2.99 super chat with a sticker of a really cool plant, if you can't see it. That being said, Aki's going to be inside of the chat as she always will. If she sees a comment that she thinks is worthy of me responding to, she'll definitely highlight it and we'll make sure to get to it. But our main focus will, of course, be on the material. And I got to tell you something. I shared a theory that I have with the membership before we went live. I did a quick car video where I talked about a theory I have. I don't know at what point it's going to be relevant in these calls because I don't know when Stephan Stearns makes the comment that made me have that theory. If it's in this show, then we'll discuss it. This will be a part 1 and a part 2, I believe. If not, we're good. I actually think it's just going to be a part 1 because this is 17 minutes worth of material. So we'll go ahead and change the title and just end up being a part 1. But when Stephan Stearns talks about what he talked about, I'll tell you guys my theory on what he said. It's a little interesting. It's not groundbreaking, but it's just interesting and it kind of like really digs into the character of Stephan Stearns as if his character could get any worse. I mean, he has the worst character on the planet. He's the worst example of a human being. I mean, but it's just another nail in that coffin that is Stephan Stearns. All right, guys, let's get this party started. All right, let's get to a little something for you guys to watch up here. And let's start playing it. Once again, big shout out to Plunder. We're using her Patreon's audio. Let's do it. Let me get this back to 0. Here we go.
The time is 2:51 p.m. If you believe that you are the victim of sexual or physical abuse, press star 9021 after this message. Press 1 to place a call. Press 2 to please enter your PIN number followed by the pound sign. After the tone, please say United States of America.
United States.
Hey guys, do me a favor. Let me know how the sounds for the phone call. There's very limited of what I can do, but if I can put it up just a bit with the gain, I will. So let me know how that sound is coming through on your end.
Of America.
You have 1 old message. To listen to your messages, please return to the main menu. Press 0 to make a prepaid collect call or speed dial call. Press 1 to make a debit call. Press 8 for calls within the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean. Please enter the area code, prefix, and number. To make an international call, please enter 011, the country code.
All right, big shout out to Just Moon, $10 super says, thank you for fighting for the victims of CSAM. Just want to let you know, the majority of my cases are people who are victims of the R word. All right. I deal with kids 13 all the way up to adults and infinity. So I don't deal with that much of that material. Most of my stuff are just straight up R cases. All right. Just want to clarify that. All right, let's keep going.
Your account balance is $46.85. The cost of this call will be 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for each additional minute, excluding taxes and other applicable fees. The time limit is 15 minutes. Press 0 to continue or Hello, you have a call at no expense to you from
Stephan Stearns.
an inmate at
Osceola County Corrections Department.
To accept this call, press or say 5. To refuse, this call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. Thank you for using IC Solutions. You may begin speaking now.
I thought we weren't going to hear from you till tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't realize that I could actually call right back after the 15 minutes was up.
I'm out walking, so it's just going to be you and me.
Okay, that's fine. You'd been asking me where the watch was, and I tried to quickly convey those instructions to you. Did you still need me to go over that with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So at the foot of my bed, there's a bunch of my, boxes from when I moved there.
Yes.
On top of those boxes, there should be a green tin with kind of like a gold eagle on the top of it. It's like a Warhammer ammo box tin. The watch is either in there, or if it's not in there, it's going to be in one of the boxes at the foot of my bed. If you look inside, there's a Disney popcorn bucket in the shape of a Star Wars mouse droid. It's like a little silver box with wheels on it, basically, and a brown strap. It could be in there because I put some important stuff in there. I think my Social Security card and birth certificate might be in there as well. Did you get that?
Okay. So describe this Disney pin again.
It's a mouse droid popcorn bucket that's in one of the boxes at the foot of my bed. So it's like a little silver boxy looking droid with a brown strap on it. It's actually a popcorn bucket. But I use it to store some documents and stuff, and the watch might be in there if it's not in the green tin on top of the boxes.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Some other things I wanted to ask. So you said that you went to the mental hospital. Whatever happened with...
I don't know what's happening because we don't know how to get a hold of anybody.
I see.
And supposedly has institutionalized himself. So.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. What you said that was what, to keep the cops off of her?
Supposedly on the advice of her attorney.
I see. Did you guys ever get the silver Lincoln back?
Oh, no, we don't expect to see that.
So he's very interested in what's happening with Jen. That's who he's talking about right now. And I guess him and his parents' theory is that she's in a mental hospital in order to dodge accountability from the cops, right? Now, my understanding is this video is old. This video, from what I heard very briefly, because I didn't have a lot of time, I was working, but I was kind of peeping in to Plunder and Grizzly. And from my understanding is this video possibly is before the last volley of calls that we've received that we covered, that we did a whole series on. So please go check that series out in our playlist. So this is earlier into his incarceration. That's why he's probably still talking about that watch. He's not really talking about the watch in the later ones because they've established they've looked everywhere for that Omega watch and it's gone. So this is even prior to those calls. Let's keep going.
This is a trial.
Okay. And I assume no other belongings that were left were able to be retrieved either, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, the police had the gun, so that can be released to me. Of course, the phone I let you use, So they said they would release that to me. So I got to see if I can get that.
Yeah, because obviously, I didn't even really use it, so.
By the way, the body camera, the camera in the sheriff's deputy's car that escorted you from Orange County to Osceola County, all that video and audio, somebody got a hold of and it's out on the internet with YouTube.
Oh boy!
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So these YouTubers, these amateur sleuths, who have now decided to make it their life's work to try to uncover the real Stephan Stearns. And of course, they're drilling down, to the whole family.
What's wrong with that? Chris, your son raped and murdered a baby. I tried to look for a better word for the YouTube algorithm, and I said the worst word. Should have just said child or something. You're better off than saying baby. Like, come on. Your son did the unthinkable. Like, ladies and gentlemen, like, there's the two worst things you could do in our society and mankind is to take somebody's life. The second worst thing you could do is to take somebody's body without their permission. And I guess the third worst thing that you could do is to do either one of those things or both or to a minor. Stephan Stearns did all three of those things. All three of those things in the worst way. He took a life. Now there's levels to this. You take an adult's life, that's horrible. You take an elderly person's life, we look at that as cruel and unusual. Even though any life being lost is cruel, our instincts tell us that an elderly person is helpless. You do that to somebody who's underage, same thing. It's just as sad as if it was a 20, 30, 40, or 50-year-old, but we look at it like that person was helpless. They didn't even have a chance. You took the life of an underage person. You took the body and the self-worth and the self-dignity of an underage person. And then when you were done with your wares and your thrills and your diabolical desires, you threw their life away. So yes, Chris, unfortunately, we're going to be interested in this because it is an affront to humanity, to our collective humanity. And it's a crime not just against the Sotos, it's a crime against society. Yeah, we're going to be interested in how a human being, someone who's supposed to be programmed in most instances, we know for sure, not always, to have something called empathy. We want to understand how this person who talks like a normal human being, who walks, sleeps, poops, and everything else that human beings does, how this person could have a lack of empathy. How they could do what they did to Maddie. The reason why we want to know it is not for entertainment purposes. We want to know it so we can protect that next child. So yes, we want to know everything about your son. And we'd love it if you'd have been more cooperative and tell us the truth about your son, right? But we'd love to know everything about your son so that we could protect our children. So that we could protect our girls. So that we can make sure our sons don't grow up to be like your son. Now, we're not saying that the Stearns did anything to make Stephen Stearns what he is. I'm not in that camp. I don't believe that the Stearns made Stephen Stearns. They may have made mistakes that created a Stephen Stearns. Maybe they didn't. We all make mistakes as parents. But they know who Stephen Stearns is. And that's the information that we need. We don't need them constantly covering for this man who made terrible decisions as though some way, somehow he might very well be a victim. Now, this is an old call, so I'm not saying the Stearns still believe this. This is an old call. But at this moment, Chris Stearns and Deborah Stearns, but in all defense of Deborah, because you guys know I go off on Deborah all the time. In all defense of her, she's not on the phone right now. The only person on the phone is Chris. He knows at this moment what his son did. And the fact that he can have this kind of conversation with his son is beyond me. It really is. I have no problem with the Stearns lamenting on the fact that their name is out in the public sphere. They're home. There are idiots knocking on their door. That's what Chris said happened. I don't know if there's any police reports about that. But certainly if it happened, it's a travesty. Nobody should knock on these people's door. Nobody should bother them. Nobody should call them without permission. If they want to lament about that, I'm with it 1,000% because it's sad that they have to face the consequences of their son's actions by people on the internet overstepping boundaries. But don't defend this monster and don't pretend like the reality of what this monster did doesn't exist, because it exists. It happened. And at the end of the day, what all of these characters are feeling is nothing compared to what Madeline felt in those final moments before Stephen Stearns took her life. Let's keep going. Apologize for the rant.
And making quite a circus of the whole thing. That entire video is on YouTube. And during your conversation you had with that deputy.
Okay. So, I'm pretty sure we talked about music most of the time.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She used that. One of these people, Blunder or somebody, YouTuber, used that information to dig up information about when your mom and I were.
So, he's like, listen, I guess he's about to say, it sounds like, let me see what he's about to say.
Better issues 20, 30 years ago. And brought that up, her clickbait headline says, $3,700 lawsuit, some creditor suing you. So, they're just taking everything and everything and trying to make something of it when nothing exists.
All right. So, I get it. First of all, I get it. I like to see things from different sides. Okay. We are all talking about your divorce. We're all talking about, the issues that you've had in your family. I get that. That's, you could view that as, looking into your private life and opening up old wounds. I get it. But why are we doing that? Why is it newsworthy? Because it is. Because it's who made the monster and how was the monster made? Why? Well, I just said it. Because your son is a monster. So when you're thinking about why Blunder, which of course you're purposely missaying her name because you want to be disrespectful, because you don't like the good work that she's doing. I'm sure you don't like the work that I'm doing either and any other YouTuber. But why? Well, you know why. All of this is because of Stephan Stearns. All of these situations are as a result of your son's poor decision making. That's why. And people are interested in trying to figure out, why did he do what he did? Let's keep going. And I'm going to take myself off the screen real quick because you guys know my allergies are terrible.
But supposedly calling you a mama's boy and what have you. So it's quite a circus. I don't watch any of it. People just tell me about it. I don't bother with it because it's all bullshit.
Well, hey, I am a mama's boy anyway. I've never been ashamed of that.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that
he is a mama's boy.
This conversation, obviously somebody in the county jail is selling this information. So I'm waiting to see if these conversations surface, because as far as I know, this is supposed to be private conversation. Obviously, the jail can monitor it, but it's not supposed to be released to the public.
And they will be, supposedly a redacted version of my arrest report.
All right, first of all, when these jail calls, they tell you in the beginning of jail call that the phone call is recorded. That's across America. There are no private conversations on jail calls. The only private conversation you can have on a jail call is a conversation between yourself and an attorney. That's it. Yourself and an attorney. Everything else is public information. That's number one. Number two, all recordings, body-worn camera, dash cam, whatever, they're all public information, period. So maybe he has been educated on how that works now. This was last year. Apparently, people in chat are saying that this was done in April of 2024. I'm sure they're educated on what's going on now, but he was definitely wrong about that. Now, on to you guys. Now I got to talk about you guys. We got almost 400 people watching this live stream, and we only have 200 likes. And we would definitely appreciate if some of you guys would take the time to hit that like button so we can get into the algorithm, okay? And lastly, for the chat, the algorithm reads every single chat. That's why sometimes you get moderated by us, and sometimes you actually get moderated by the YouTube bots. Like the YouTube program itself moderates people from time to time. We're going to ask you to please use your words as adults. Don't put negative things in that chat. You can say negative things in the right way. All right. Don't get me wrong. You can say negative things. Don't get me wrong. But don't say disrespectful things. Don't use curse words. Don't put us in a position where, number one, we have to work harder than we're working. And number two, that it's going to hurt the show. 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 Okay. YouTube will not put non-advertiser friendly content in the algorithm, which hurts our growth. So keep it clean, people. Keep it clean. All right, let's keep going. All right.
It was leaked to the public as well.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not sure who's leaking all this stuff, or what sort of effect that has on all the proceedings.
This is a high-profile case, and so somebody in there is looking to make a buck.
Yeah, well, I imagine this probably taints the whole process, though.
Yeah.
So,
that's what you're looking for.
What's going to happen with that, but,
see, he thinks that we have tainted the process. Well, I mean, I hope he was paying attention to the hearing he was in, when the defense made the case that, plunder and strategic eyes is on that ass. We on that arse, okay? And judge, please keep the media out of this case because they are on our arses, okay? And it didn't work. Judge was like, negative. That's not how it works, okay? It's not how it works.
Does that make sense?
All right. So no, it did not taint the process because this is America and this is public information and the people have a right to know, okay? Let's keep going.
So I told you where the watch was. In addition to that, I found your wedding band when we were cleaning out storage.
Okay.
That's in a black ring box on the shelf above my desk.
There we go. I have a theory on that. Did you hear what Stephen Stearns just said to his father? Listen to this.
Yeah, well, I imagine this probably taints the whole process, though.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's going to happen with that, but, so I told you where the watch was. In addition to that, I found your wedding band when we were cleaning out storage.
Wow.
Okay.
That's in a black ring box on the shelf above my desk.
Why are you still on the phone with this guy? You guys understand what you just heard? Stephen Stearns stole his parents' wedding ring. How could your love be so deep and so profound that you keep giving this monster a chance? I'm a parent, and I pray to God that I'm never put in this position, but it almost borderlines on pathetic. I'm sorry. From human to human, I know that there's an advanced age between us, but you're pathetic. And I don't like to talk like this on this channel because I don't like to bully and denigrate people, but it sounds very pathetic to me. He stole your Rolex. He's been disrespectful to you your entire life. And now he's on the phone admitting to you that he stole your wedding ring. Your wedding ring. And you're still on the phone with him. Why would Stephen Stearns find his parents' wedding ring in storage? And instead of saying, hey, mom and dad, look what I found. It's your wedding ring. One of the most special things that you own. Here, take it. I found it. Keep it safe. Do whatever you want with it. He would then put it inside of a jewelry box and hide it in his room. Why did he do that? We all know from following this case that Stephen Stearns loved to steal money from his parents and also sell their valuables. How do we know that? Because they admitted that he stole money from them before. That's out of their own mouths. Now, somebody will say, well, why? Why would at this time he decide to give them the wedding ring? Why not? He's in jail. There's nothing he could do with it. Now he can make it seem like it's goodwill. Like, oh, I found it. Do you guys really think that he was going to give that wedding ring back to his parents? Or was he saving it for a rainy day when he really needed some money that he could go get that wedding ring and pawn it? Like he did with that Rolex. Like he did with that Omega watch. Do you really believe that Stephen Stearns misplaced a Omega watch? Just like a Rolex was somehow mistakenly misplaced? I believe he's been sending his parents on that wild goose chase because there probably was like, yo, where's the Omega watch so we can sell it? I think that's what they said. Where's the Omega watch so we can sell it? He could not say, well, I already pawned that Omega watch. So he's sending them on this wild goose chase to find the Omega watch. When they can't find it, they feel sorry for him and they keep dipping into their own savings to take care of him. He knows that the Omega watch has long been sold, most likely by him, just like how he long sold the Rolex. Just like he had that wedding ring, the wedding ring of the people who brought him into this earth.
Does that make sense?
He had it in a special location, waiting for him to sell it when he needed money. And these people still on the phone with him, still enabling him, still being a part of his diabolical world. This like it doesn't make sense to me. It's like me watching Stephen Stern's Final Interrogation again. You know, where the detectives is in the room, and it's like the way that they're questioning didn't make sense to me, just like the way that they're talking to their son doesn't make sense to me. I don't know, man. That's my theory. That's the theory I was thinking about. I was telling you guys about when we started out the show. I think that Stephen Stearns stole their wedding ring as well and was in the process of selling it. He was in the process of selling it until he got arrested. And now it's like, hey, mom, dad, guess what? I found your wedding ring. And by the way, it's in a box over here and there and everywhere, whatever. Go find it. And then, you know what the father says? Well, we already found it. And the reason why they already found it is because they've been inventorying everything in his room because they're selling things. They're giving things away. They know Stephen Stearns is not coming out. And he has them on a mission. Go find some valuables. Sell that stuff to recoup your costs so you can send me the money. Send me the money. We know what it's all about. It's all about sending him the money, right? This guy stole his parents' wedding ring, ladies and gentlemen. He stole their wedding ring, man. Let's keep going.
I think we found that. Yeah.
You found that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, I just want to let you know that was found. I'm not totally sure where my family ring is.
I have it.
Oh, you have it? Okay. So you found that?
It was on the show.
It was on the shelf. Okay. I thought it might have been, but I wasn't super sure.
Yeah. What about the Rolex?
I've never had that. It was given to you, and I never had.
Back to the Rollie. What about the Rollie? Right back to the Rollie.
Possession of it.
Then your mother did something with it, but we have to figure out where she stuck it.
Yeah, unless it was sold while we were still in Summerport.
No, it was here at the house. It was here. Yeah, I mean.
You know you did something wrong when you're given alternatives that you know they would know that it happened. So I think he's talking about like they went bankrupt or something like that, and they were selling it. I didn't understand what he said. I thought it said something about court. So I don't know what court he's talking about, but most likely it's like a bankruptcy or something where they're liquidating your assets, because I believe that the Stearns got bankrupt at some point in time. Whatever. Neither here nor there. Simply just to explain what he's saying. And he's saying, well, maybe it got sold during this court. They would know what's sold. They have to inventory their own assets and give that to the courts for the courts to know what they have available to liquidate in order to settle their debts. They would know if they put those Rolexes on, and who is going to list those? You know how they catch those celebrities? Because the celebrities wear their expensive jewelries and their watches and their chains and stuff like that. So they know you got this chain because we have this People magazine photo with you on that chain. You either got to say, well, it was gift jewelry that I just wore for that event, or yeah, I own it. That's how they get it. Nobody's going to declare Rolexes and jewelry like that. The court has no way of knowing that you own that stuff, especially heirlooms where there is no trail of you purchasing it because it was handed down to you. Nobody's going to report that to probate court or to bankruptcy court. Why would they do that so that the court could be like, yeah, give me that so we can sell that and settle your debts? He knows, just like his parents knows, it was not sold during any court proceedings. He sold it so he could play with Warhammer and probably buy Maddie's silence. Because guys, as they get older, the victims, they know that it's wrong because they're getting socialized. They're watching TV. Think about this, right? You're being abused by your mother's boyfriend who's 30 years older than you. 30 years older than you. What is on TV? Every time you turn on Lifetime, what do you see? Stories of that. Every time you look at Law and Order, SVU, what do you see? Stories of that. Every time you turn on YouTube, you see True Crime with Strategic talking about stories of that. you're going to be socialized into understanding that it's wrong. He spent your entire childhood telling you that it's right? But now that you're older and you're being exposed to the whole world is telling you that it's wrong. You start questioning the validity of the grooming that this person put you through. You start saying it doesn't even feel right, because guess what? Nature honestly tells you it's wrong. Because there's an aspect to us that we don't understand, a spiritual aspect to us that we don't understand, that we can't quantify. It's not all about science, ladies and gentlemen. So your spirit is telling you it's wrong. But the grooming is telling you this is the way it's supposed to be. This is right. This is how it works. But it's not how it works. And now the world is starting to tell you through media and pop culture. They got experts coming to your school to give you presentations. This is my body. This is my space. Nobody has access to this body or space without my permission. This is what they're teaching you in kindergarten, teaching you in first, second grade, teaching you in town hall meetings in school. It's what you see on the TV, see on YouTube. She's going to start asking questions. You know what they start doing? They go from the grooming to the I'm in control and I'm teaching you what is proper socialization, which we know it's not, to I'm going to bribe you, to I'm going to threaten you, to I'm going to abuse you. He wasn't abusing Maddie that I know about. There was no complaints that she had scars on her and stuff like that. I think he started bribing her. It's just my theory. There's no evidence of that. No evidence whatsoever. I'm just going off my experience of what people like him, cretins like him, do. They start to bribe. Anyway, let's keep going.
It was here. I seen it earlier. Well, I seen it in 2023. But anyway, doesn't matter.
I never had it.
So I finally got the commissary information. So you need some boxer shorts?
Yeah, definitely. I've been going commando this entire time.
What size? Large, extra large?
I think just large would probably do. I mean, whatever will fit a 36 waist.
Do they have the ability to wash and stuff?
I'm sorry?
Do they have the ability to wash this stuff?
Yeah, I believe they collect laundry and do washing like once a week or so. I think from what I
I'll get you a couple pairs, and you need socks?
Yeah, I'll probably need that. In the meantime, I was going to hold off on making any, like extraneous orders for commissary and whatnot until we find out more. I mean, I'm not sure exactly how long I'm going to be here, so I did want to mention
definitely needs some
my
socks,
first
man.
Mandatory court appearance that cannot.
He definitely needs some socks, and he's been rolling commando. Somebody get that man some socks.
Be waived. Will be at the end of this month, sometime between the 26th and 28th.
Supposedly, I thought was the 24th of April.
Well, it could be then too. I got basically a rough estimate from one of the attorneys that is kind of associated with the case, but not really the main one. So yeah, it's going to be towards the end of this month. I guess before or after my birthday, probably. But
yeah. And supposedly the trial's supposed to be May 14th.
Oh, I haven't heard that, but I guess you might know more than I do.
Well, again, follow mainstream media only, whatever they have in the paper.
Well, they've got better sources than I do because I'm pretty much, in the dark most of the time here.
Yeah, well, again, I don't follow anything but mainstream media because everything else is just bullshit.
First of all, if you following the mainstream media, you're not getting any information. We already settled that. That's fake news, all right? Now, listen, I wanted to send Stephen Stern some root beer barrel candy. Remember we talked about this, right? When I got my shipment. A lot of people got root beer barrel candy now, apparently. But anyway, that's a different story. So I was going to send him some root beer barrel candy. And you guys told me no, don't send him anything. No, strategic. No. All right. So I decided, all right, I'm not going to send him no root beer barrel candy. So I got a question, right? He needs some underwear. Can I send him some Victoria's Secret underwear? Will that be acceptable to the chat? Let's take a poll. Let's keep going.
Yeah. People making a circus of it.
Yeah. Also, these phone calls, they're 21 cents for the first minute and 21 cents for every minute after that with a 15-minute limit. So it's about $3.15 per phone call. If we
Okay. Well, I just put $100 into that account.
Okay, perfect. That should last quite a while then. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that. So if we needed to ration the calls or anything like that, we could do it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get into our personal lives conversations because I don't trust the system of keeping it confidential. So I want to keep this, as banal as possible. And
how have you guys
just
been?
keep
Has
it that
anyone
way.
been bothering you or anything?
No. It's been.
Yo, big shout out to Better Than You with a 1 iron super chat says, send him a diaper. He's such a big baby. That'd be too soft for his bum. We don't want to give his bum any comfortability. Let's keep going. The chat is split. People are like, no, strategic. Don't send him Vicky's. It's too good for him. They want send him to Strawberries. Who's from New York City and know about the strawberry store? I don't know if they had strawberries anywhere else. It's like I used to work at Vicky's when I was young, and one day we got a shipment of strawberries, panties, and bras, and we looked at it. It was like, oh crap, this is the same exact thing as the Vicky's bras and panties. So it was a little known secret. Strawberries got their panties and bras from the same manufacturer of Victoria's Secret, which meant that you could go to Strawberries and get it for half the price of if you went to Victoria's Secret. So that was very interesting. So should I send him some strawberries? I don't know. Does even strawberries exist anymore? Let's keep going. I'm being silly. Let's keep going.
It's been quiet. I mean, I really wish they would drop the shoe on and all of this stuff, attention and emphasis would be shifted to her family. Because as far as we're concerned, we know that she's responsible. To what degree, we don't know, but I don't believe you killed her, so.
So he doesn't believe that he took Maggie's life. Now, mind you, I to be fair to these folks, I like to be fair. I'm tough, but I'm fair. This was in April of 2024. They may not have this same opinion. I know they don't have this same opinion anymore. So this was April 2024. We're in a Wayback Machine right now. But it's surprising that they didn't believe that he did it in April. All of the evidence was out there already. It was overwhelming evidence that he took Madeline's life. So I just don't understand how he can even have that conversation with his son. Aki, do me a favor, put Jackie Oh No on the naughty list, because Jackie is being extremely naughty. Jackie O with 1 super chat says, send him some Vaseline. Oh boy, Jackie, you are such a bad girl. Let's keep going, man. You guys are terrible.
That's good because, it's one of the few people who do, but you know that I would never have wanted that for her.
Yeah.
And,
I'm going to bring it back 2 seconds.
To what degree drop the shoe on and all of this stuff, attention and emphasis would be shifted to her family. Because as far as we're concerned, we know that she's responsible. To what degree, we don't know, but I don't believe you killed her, so.
That's good because, it's one of the few people who do, but you know that I would never have wanted that for her.
Yeah.
So he said only a few people who do, I think, or you're one of few people who do, or only few people that do, that would never wanted that for her. Does that make any sense? Let's go back again. I would never have wanted that for her. That's not like I didn't do it. That's not like only a few people, or if he said you're one of few people who would know that I would never do that to her. No, he said I would never have wanted that for her, as though it happened, but it was an accident. It was not purposeful. It's not what I intended to do. That's what that sounds like to me. It doesn't sound like a hard no. I did not do that. You know that I would not do that. That's what an innocent person would say. A person who's talking out of two sides of their mouth at the same time would say, that that's not something that I would ever, Does that make any sense? Does it make? I'm not even going to joke around and put the does that make sense sound effect. Like, I'm serious. Does that make sense to you? Does that sound like something an innocent person would say? Let's keep going.
She's responsible. To what degree, we don't know, but I don't believe you killed her, so.
That's good because, it's one of the few people who do, but you know that I would never have wanted that for her.
Yeah.
And it broke me. It absolutely broke me.
So we think, we believe her family is involved in this and cover up. So we'll just see how all this plays out.
Well, I'm not sure that really any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it. But,
You see that? And then he talks out of both sides of his mouth because listen, him and Jen Soto, they're trauma bonded. And they might just be more bonded than that. They might be complicit co-defendants. I'm sorry. I think something happened in that house, man, and we don't know what happened. But I'm open to anything. But one thing I agree with Rachel Burton in the chat. I do not believe that Jen Soto put her hands around Maddie's neck. I don't believe that. I believe Stephen Stearns did that. Now, what happened after that, I don't know. Did Stearns go down and wake Jen up and tell her what he did, and then they both conspired to? It's possible. I don't know. I don't know. I imagine that they would have. I imagine that they would have checked Jen's phone, checked the accelerometer, the GPS, and all that stuff, and they would have been able to determine whether she was moving at that time in the night and all that good stuff. Like, was she walking around? Was she moving? I don't know if she had an Apple Watch or not that would be able to say what her heart rate was and all that good stuff to be able to debunk whether she was up at 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning with Stephen Stearns telling her, I made a mistake. I don't know what I did. I don't know why I did it. It was by accident or whatever. She's gone. I don't know. But I do not believe that Jen Soto took Maddie's life. I don't believe that. But he's talking out of both sides of his mouth, because when the father now says, I believe that Jen Soto pretty much did it or had something to do with it, he then says, I don't know, man. There's so many different factors to this. I think there wasn't any one situation or one person that made this happen. Let's listen to what he said again. Let's listen to it.
Her family is involved in this and cover up. So we'll just see how all this plays out.
well, I'm not sure that really any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination.
I'm not sure that any one person is specifically responsible. That's what he said. Once again, what is that? What does that mean? Explain to me what that means. What are we supposed to take away from that? Make it make sense. What are we supposed to take away from that? You didn't give us nothing. You didn't give us a suspect. You didn't give us a motive. You just was like, he basically said anything could have happened. Anything could have been the reason for this to happen. I mean, let me one more time. I got to digest this. Put it 30 seconds back.
That's good because, it's one of the few people who do, but you know that I would never have wanted that for her.
Yeah.
And it broke me. It absolutely broke me.
So we think, we believe her family is involved in this and cover up. So we'll just see how all this plays out.
Well, I'm not sure that really any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it, but it certainly shattered me.
Certainly shattered him. Such a liar. But Aki made a good point. She just sent me a message. Excellent point, Aki. And then later on, in more recent phone calls, when the mother said that Jen did something, is complicit in the unaliving of Maddie, he then defends Jen yet again. He checks the mother. I'm trying to read what Aki said real quick. Yeah, he checks her. He checks and says, no. Remember, she lost her daughter. Come on, Ma. She's grieving right now, Ma. She lost her daughter. Don't forget she lost her child. Remember? So he's defending Jen now. No, there's not any one person to blame for this tragedy. Destroyed me, it crushed me, whatever words he used. And then later on, he defends again when the mother says, come on, Ma. Remember, she lost her daughter. She lost her child. And remember, Jen did the same exact thing in the interrogation, defending Stephan Stearns. Well, you know, the unaliving was evil, but the essay wasn't evil. Or the essay wasn't evil, but the unaliving was evil. Or I don't really, you know, what if I don't want to press charges now? Could I press charges later if I decide? What if I don't want to press charges? Constantly defending each other, looking out for each other, watching each other's backs. You don't think that this is the first, that you would think that this is the first time that two people who are diabolically trauma bonded, who are engaging in inappropriate criminal activity. I'm not saying that Jen did anything criminal. I'm just speaking with my own opinion and theory right now. You think it's the first time that one of them says, I'll take the rap and let you go free? You think it's beyond the pale that Stephan Stearns will be in his cell right now? Listen, I know what I did. I know what I did to Maddie. I know the evidence they have against me. What is it going to benefit me to put Jen in prison for the rest of her life? She was good to me. She gave me Maddie. This is my opinion, my theory now, people. My opinion, my theory. She was good to me. She gave me Maddie. She gave me everything I wanted. I enjoyed myself for 7 years. I got to do my heart's desires for 7 years. I'll take the fall. I knew the party had to end eventually. I'll take the fall. I won't take her down with me. I won't tell them what I know. And since I won't tell them what I know, William J. is going to say, it's dirt under the bridge. Yo, somebody get me the dirt under the bridge sound effect. You got it clipped, William J. when he says, it's dirt under the bridge, okay? Get it to me and I will love you eternally. Dirt under the bridge. We need to add that to our collection. Dirt under the bridge. I think it's possible. They keep defending each other. They keep defending each other. We've seen this before, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the first time that a mother or a father defends the abuser of their children. It's not the first time. But in time, normally, the parent will turn against the abuser. We're approaching 2 years now. I don't want to exaggerate. It's a year and change, okay? It's not almost 2 years. We're like a year and change. Have you heard from Jen Soto? Have you heard from Jen Soto? Oh, hell no. You have not heard from Jen Soto, have you? Usually by now, we would hear from that family member, I don't know what was wrong with me. I thought he was a great guy. It was so hard for me to believe it. If I believed it, then it would have to basically acknowledge that my whole world is shattered and dealing with the loss of my child and the trauma of knowing that the person that I love did this to my child. I just couldn't come to terms with it. But time has brought me to the conclusion that this person was evil. That's usually what we hear. It's over a year and we have heard nothing from Jen Soto about Stephan Stearns. She doesn't have to talk about the case. She doesn't have to give information. All she could say is, Stearns is a monster. Stearns took my baby and I look forward for justice for Maddie. We hear nothing. We hear silence. We've heard from the Stearns. We've heard from roommates. We haven't heard from the person that matters the most. We haven't heard from Jen Soto. But what we have heard is what she told the cops. The most important, we're not important. We like to think we're important, but we're not important. I'm a talking head on YouTube with a mic. That's it. Now, when I leave this space and I go somewhere else, I'm something else. I'm very proud of what I am when I leave this space. But when I'm here, I'm just a talking head on YouTube. And you guys are true crime aficionados. You guys love to get to the bottom of the truth. You guys love mysteries. But at the end of the day, it's educational and it's entertainment for you. But the most important people were those detectives in that room. And she told those detectives that she didn't want to press charges. She told them, well, what if I want to press charges another day? Can I do it then? And she told those detectives that Stephan Sturz essaying her daughter was not evil. Was it good, Jen? If it wasn't evil, was it good, Jen?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I don't know.
No! No!
Because if it's not evil, then it must have been good. But that's what she told him. I'm just speculating. It's my opinion. Maybe it wasn't good for her, but she said it wasn't evil, so then it must be good. But whatever. She told them, protect Stearns. To the point where the detectives called her out. Like, everything out your mouth is defending Stearns. Protect Stearns, protect Stearns, protect Stearns. I'm not just telling you this. That professional detective, which we all agree did a heck of a good job. Detective Kevin, he did an amazing job. We all love Detective Kevin on this show. Detective Kevin told her to her face, all you doing is protecting Stearns. And then when we listen to these phone calls, what do we hear? Protect Jen. I don't know how longer I can go on this diatribe to convince you to put the pieces together. If you're not putting these alleged pieces together by now, well, just keep on listening. Let's keep going.
I mean, if you thought I had PTSD before, well, buckle up, you know.
Yeah.
I've never felt anything like that before. It was horrible.
Yeah. I mean,
he said he never.
Hope the truth comes out.
He just made a confession.
At some point.
He just made a confession.
A combination of factors.
We believe her.
All right, so we're gonna, because he just made a confession. Let me see what Aki said. I don't want to say. Yeah, he said. Yeah, she caught it too. He just made a confession, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, before I go into that, I want to just show love to the people who are fan funding and showing us love. Big shout out to generic white female who's celebrating 7 months as a patrol member. Thank you so much, generic white. And as I tell you all the time, there's nothing generic about you. I appreciate you. Gemini, who just joined us as a recruit level. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And Loose for the Doberman with a $5 Canadian dollar super chat says, I'm gonna take the dogs on a mountain hike, but we will keep listening in the truck. Keep being awesome and have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much, Lucifer. Enjoy your hike in the beautiful island of Vancouver. I'm going to come visit you one day. We're going to come hang out. We're going to paint some Warhammer 40K figurines on the top of that mountain, all right? But I appreciate you and enjoy your walk and be safe as well, all right? So now, let's get back to this confession, because I think I heard a confession. Maybe I was wrong, but I think I heard a confession. Let's listen.
Family is involved in this and cover up. So we'll just see how all this plays out.
Well, I'm not sure that really any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it, but it certainly shattered me. I mean, if you thought I had PTSD before, well,
wait. No.
Yeah.
I swear.
Is specifically responsible.
So
I gotta go back. I'm sorry. Like, I do 1,000 things while I'm listening to the show. I just got an email. I think somebody sent me the Dirt Under the Bridge clip. I'm gonna check it out right now. Big shout out to AB. I'll see if she sent it though. And I missed it. I gotta listen to this again.
We believe her family is involved in this and cover up. So we'll just see how all this plays out.
Well, I'm not sure that really any one person is specifically responsible. It's probably a combination of factors that led to it, but it certainly shattered me. I mean, if you thought I had PTSD before, well, buckle up, you know.
Yeah.
I've never felt anything like that before. It was horrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah.
See, what is he talking about? You know, don't get me wrong. We know he's talking about the unaliving of Maddie, but I thought it was a little bit more of a confession, but it's not. But he's definitely talking about, but he's talking so vaguely. You don't know if he's talking about the process of him going through this whole ordeal, or if he's talking about the actual unaliving of Maddie. He's not that clear, but in later videos, he is more clear. In later audio, rather, he is more clear. Stephan Sturz has confessed to this crime multiple times. Whether he will admit it or not in the words that he has chosen in his conversations with his parents, he has confessed to this crime multiple times. Let's keep going.
I mean, I just hope the truth comes out at some point.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, we think we can send you the Bible, but there's also a Bible that I can buy online, but let's see if we can get the Bible to you.
Okay.
And a good friend of mine who I will not mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
A good friend of mine whose name I won't mention has been my spiritual mentor advisor since this all came down. Bought me a very nice Bible, so I'm doing Bible study every night, and we have our morning walks and talks. So.
Yep, and I've been reading the Bible that they've been giving me here, and praying for her, and I've been praying for you guys a lot too. And I also wanted to mention that I know you guys get in fights a lot, and kind of.
See, somebody got to get me also a sound effect for like a pastor saying Jesus, Jesus, because they love talking about God. But you can't talk about God till you ask for forgiveness, Stephen Stearns. And as of May 3rd, 2025, you have not confessed your sins. Big shout out to the person who sent me that Dirt on the Bridge. Let's listen to it right now, see how it sounds, and then we'll get back to the video. Let's see.
Dirt under the bridge.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you.
Dirt under the bridge.
Oh, yeah. We're going to add that to the collection. You did a good job. Appreciate you. You guys are fast, man. You guys don't play. Somebody give me Jesus. So every time the Stearns and Stephan talk about God, I can put, yeah, Jesus. I want a nice Southern old school black minister Jesus. I don't want what's that guy like the Olstein? I don't want an Olstein Jesus, even though his Jesus is funny too. I want me an old Southern black Baptist. It don't have to be black, because some of those old Southern white Baptists, they got it too. All right. I want an old school Baptist Jesus. So we can play it every time they talk about God, even though God is not listening to them, because these people are not righteous. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Get off my soul.
A lot of the times, but I wanted just to tell you guys, be good to each other.
We don't resent each other. We have compassionate discussions.
I felt that was maybe a poor choice of words, but I know you guys kind of get on each other's nerves every now and then, and I just.
Well, if anything, this has made us stronger. We're both joined with our faith, and we're supportive of one another.
Hold on, I'm getting in trouble in the chat. Aki says, why say someone? It was Obsidian. Well, I didn't know it was Obsidian. I see their real name, so I said someone, because I don't want to say they name the government on the internet. I'm sorry. Aki, you be getting at me, man. Jeez Louise. Hey, Obsidian, thank you so much for the clip. I appreciate you. You are definitely appreciated. Yeah, man, I see what team you play for. You and Aki are colluding against me. Jesus, what's going on here?
We talk about all of this periodically. I refuse to listen to any of the bullshit stuff that's out there. I always say, nobody watch mainstream media. I'll accept that, but nothing else.
Okay. Well,
You listen to the fake news.
A lot of rumor mills out there.
Just be good to each other, because you won't have me there to kind of.
You gotta stop listening to that fake news, Chris. Start listening to the real news. Us YouTubers, we got the real news. It's the truth, though. I mean, Fox 35 is doing a decent job reporting this, but are they reporting it the way that we're reporting it? The way that you hear Plunder, Grizzly, myself report this? No. When Stephen Stearns' defense attorneys went out there and tried to convince that judge to keep the media outside of the courtroom, did they mention ABC News? Did they mention Inside Edition? Did they mention TMZ? No, they spoke about us YouTubers. They said our names, because we're out there keeping the feet to the fire. If we weren't covering this, nobody'd be talking about Madeline. If we weren't covering this, there'd be no pressure on William J. when he's offering Jen Soto, dirt under the bridge.
Dirt under the bridge.
When he's letting her sins become
dirt under the bridge.
I gotta move faster than that. Come on. We're the ones who put his feet to the fire. We're the ones that broke that stuff down. We got the knowledge too. He's an attorney, but we got the knowledge. We got attorneys coming on the shows talking about the things that they're doing in this case. Professional detectives like myself coming on the show talking about what they're doing over there. We're holding their feet to the fire. All of us collectively, not one person, not one show, but a whole community of true crimers are out there keeping their feet to the fire, keeping Maddie's name in the news. Do you think Fox 35 is going to cover Maddie Soto every single day? No. So what ends up happening when you don't talk about these cases? Then you get these eggheads. Yeah, I'm sorry, William J. I'm not trying to disrespect you, but you might be an egghead. Most attorneys are. You get these eggheads in the room like this. Oh, well, how much is it going to cost for a prosecution? Oh, it's going to cost us like $2 million. Oh, but we got him dead to rights. Why go to trial and spend the $2 million? Okay, let's just do a deal. Let's do a plea bargain. I mean, he'll never come out of prison anyway. Let's do a plea bargain and give him life instead of capital punishment. And if we don't put their feet to the fire and we don't cover Maddie, I guarantee you Stephan Stearns would have already pled guilty to life in prison without the possibility of parole, but he would not be getting capital punishment. William J. would love that. You know why they would love that? I'm going to tell you a little secret, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I respect attorneys, prosecutors, and defense attorneys. Do you know how difficult it is to put on a trial? Do you know the level of mental preparation, the level of research, the commitment you have to every case you put on the stand, whether it's a bullcrap petty larceny case or a capital punishment case? Do you understand the amount of stress that William J. is under right now? The amount of stress that Stephan Stearns' defense attorneys are under right now? This is a very difficult job. It's almost like brain surgery. Almost. You don't think they'd love for this to just disappear? Oh, we made a deal. 60 years in prison. He's never getting out. He's going to die in prison. Justice is served. Move on to the next case. You know that, I think, what was the statistic? Like 80% of all cases end in plea bargains? That it's rare that cases go to trial? We are dealing with a trial right now because we're keeping their feet to the fire. We pour cold water on that fire and turn that fire into steam. Watch how quickly this case gets resolved in a plea bargain. Look how quickly William J. was willing to offer Jen Soto
dirt under the bridge.
Look how quickly he did that when he thought nobody was paying attention. When he thought nobody was paying attention, look how quickly he offered her dirt under the bridge. I guarantee, I'm not saying that they would ever let Stephan Stearns walk free. I would never disrespect William J. and their prosecutorial office like that. These are good people who are trying to do their job the best they can. I would never say that they would offer him a sentence that would let him walk free one day. But I guarantee you, they would be willing to take capital punishment off of the table if nobody was paying attention. I guarantee you, they would settle for life without parole. And as I told you guys, when there's life, there's hope. We talked about this in the last live that we did. How I named off a ton of high-profile cases where people did 20, 15, 20, 30, 40 years in prison for heinous crimes. See, I'm saying it correctly now. It's not heinous, strategic, it's heinous. If you can say Heinz, you can say heinous. I said it correctly. Oh, yay! Let's play it. I'm sorry. People committed heinous crimes, and now they're going free. Crimes that people never thought that those people would be released for. They're free now. They're going free. They're getting their parole. We talked about Elizabeth Smart, the woman who watched Smart's abductor grape her, fed her, ignored her pleas for help, helped conceal her. How that woman did 15 years and got out. How the Menendez brothers which is a complicated case that I don't know too much about. And I might agree with them if their father was doing the horrible things that they're saying that the father did, because I don't like the pedophiles. Maybe it was natural selection that they ended those folks. Maybe it wasn't. But we put them in jail to be there for the rest of their life. And guess what? They're about to get out. Do you really, as I said in my last live, do you really want to take the risk that Kim Kardashian's great-great-great-great-grandkids is not going to release Stephen Stearns because of a technicality? Because it does not make sense, lady didn't make him sign a release form.
Does that make sense?
When there's life, there's hope. We don't want hope for Stephen Stearns. We want capital punishment. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Let's keep going, man. Let's keep going.
Be a buffer anymore. And I'm not sure.
Well, try not to make that sound more than what it is, because it's not any more than that. You know.
Jesus.
We have our flare-ups and then we quickly move on.
Of course, I just
but we've been very supportive of one another, and we just know that we're getting through this, and we're putting our faith in God.
Okay.
And we hope you.
Glad to hear that.
We hope you're finding the same.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I worried about you guys. I've been worrying about you guys, so you've been in my prayers and in my thoughts.
I appreciate that. And you as well. In fact, your mother told me this afternoon she came out of her bedroom the other morning with a question and called out for you, and then realized, he's not here.
Mm.
You did or she did?
He did.
She did?
Yeah. I go, hello, not here.
Oh.
So she slipped a little there mentally.
She did, huh? Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Maddie's grandma, Maddie's grandfather, two people that loved them, no evidence they did anything wrong. I know a lot of people's trying to throw those people under the bus. There's no evidence they did anything wrong. I'm pretty sure Maddie's auntie, no evidence she did anything wrong. All the evidence is that Maddie's grandmother, Maddie's grandfather, Maddie's aunties, they all loved Maddie, treated Maddie like gold, appreciated Maddie. I'm pretty sure they woke up a day or two ago and said, hey, Maddie, come downstairs. Breakfast is ready. And they heard silence because Maddie's gone. You want us to feel bad that you called out for your 40-year-old pedophile son, unalivened son, and guess what? He wasn't there. He was in a jail cell. We supposed to feel sorry for that? When people are calling out for this little girl and they get nothing in return because she's gone. I'm sorry. I don't feel bad for you. I'm sorry. Let's keep going. It's almost over. 2 minutes.
For a long time, I kept expecting.
I lied. 17 seconds. Let's go back, though.
He did.
She did?
Yeah. I go, hello, not here.
Yeah.
So she slipped a little there mentally.
Yeah. For a long time, I kept expecting to wake up and find out this was all a nightmare.
Believe me, this is all very, very surreal for us.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking.
Thank you for using IC Solutions. Goodbye.
All right. We got some other hell no sound effects and stuff like that. People sending me tons of sound effects. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome, man. All right, so somebody sent me SG, because remember, when people send me emails, a lot of times their real name is there, so I can't say their name. I don't want to, rather. It's not the right thing to do. Well, first of all, that was very interesting, very probative. I really enjoyed that call. I think we got a lot out of it to kind of like understand the mindset of this family going through the throes of this stuff happening when it happened, very close to his arrest. So I think that was very interesting. But there's something interesting that just came into my inbox, and I want to explore it with you guys really quickly, and then I got to get out of it. What's my time looking at? Hour 18 minutes, not bad. Hopefully we'll be done by hour and a half. So let's rock that out. Hour and a half is hopefully the cutoff time. If I didn't have work today, I'd stay 2.5 hours. I have no problem doing that. I love hanging out with you guys. My son is not here. My oldest is at work. My middle daughter is hanging out, so I'll probably hang out with her before I go. So mommy's at work, so I would hang out with you guys for 3 hours, but today is not the day. So I got an email from SG that says, just in case you didn't catch this, Vinnie Politan and Chris Stearns found the watch that Stephan has been harping about in the storage locker instead of his room. Like he kept saying, it's at 4118. We're going to go over to Vinnie Politan to see that. In a video above, sounds like that's how they knew he was in that storage room that morning while everyone else was at the hotel. Okay, let's go to that. First of all, big shout out SG. Thank you so much for showing me that, for sending me that tip rather. And big shout out to Vinnie Politan of Court TV. We're going to be listening to his show right now. I think everybody here is pretty much a fan of Vinnie and Court TV. So it just goes without saying, definitely a wealth of knowledge that we get from those channels. Let's keep going. So let me go ahead and bring this over so that you guys can see it as well. And it's at 4118. So we'll start at 40, I mean. Let's give it some little context. All right, we'll also drop this link inside of the chat. We'll drop a link for Plunder's Patreon inside of our bio, so you could go there and check out that audio if you like. We'll also drop a link for Vinnie Politan's Court TV show, so you could go watch this entire production and get some context for it. Let me just clean up the screen real quick, guys, and then we'll get started. All right, let's do it.
Fingerprint the outside of it, you would have to use powder. I wouldn't suggest using super glue, or you may not be able to use that hard drive anymore. So usually in that kind of case, they're looking for the digital evidence.
So what she's talking about is pulling prints. There's two types of ways that we typically pull prints. They're talking about pulling prints over a hard drive. You guys know I'm a certified crime scene technician for the state of New York. I don't use the skill anymore, but I used to crime scenes that were used in both federal and state court. So I had that opportunity, have that experience under my belt. You guys understand, when you've been around as long as I've been around, you do some really cool ish. All right. And I'm never going to shy away from it. Some people might think, oh, you're being egotistical or something. No, I'm a professional. I've earned it. I come from nothing. I come from the dregs of the projects and abstract poverty to be the man that I am today. And I'm going to be very proud of those accomplishments and that experience. And I'm going to own it. All right. So there's two ways of pulling those prints. You can use what's called, she says super glue, but we call it fuming. All right. Fuming. All right, F-U-M-I-N-G, fuming. And what you did is, this is a special chamber. You could build one yourself, or Searchy sells them as well. And you basically vaporize super glue in this chamber. And they have these portable chambers. You could just bring them anywhere, really. Set them up. I've seen them set up in crime scenes. You know, I've fumed myself. I've done it myself. You set up these chambers. It vaporizes the super glue, and then the super glue sticks to all the surfaces that are inside of the chamber. And it basically hardens the fingerprints, and then you could then just pull those prints very easily off of whatever. But it does damage surfaces, and it also makes the extraction of DNA impossible. It destroys the DNA. So what she's saying is, you would not fume the hard drive because it would most likely destroy the hard drive. Like all those connectors would be layered with super glue. You would only dust in hard drive. You'd use that fine powder to try and get the fingerprints off of the hard drive. Now, that being said, I would believe that you wouldn't even dust a hard drive because those fine particles could maybe find their way into the hard drive. Probably not, because I think hard drives are vacuum sealed. I think we would probably look for DNA off of a hard drive before we would try and take prints off of a hard drive. So I disagree with this expert, and I would say that it's probably DNA that would be the primary piece of evidence that would be taken off of a hard drive before fingerprints. Let's keep going.
That's inside it.
And Shannon, that's a big deal, right? Because this hard drive, we believe, has some incriminating evidence in it.
It wasn't the hard drive that had the evidence on it. There was a USB with that hard drive that was turned over. The hard drive didn't have any evidence they could use in that, but it was suspicious because it was missing, and the dad had talked about, like, his computer's here, but there's no hard drive. So that's why they wanted, like, why are you why is this hard drive separated from the computer? But next to that, then they found that USB that had 35,000 images of child pornography on it. It wasn't Madeline Soto, but certainly showed investigators some things that they were curious about.
And was the USB also part of what was turned over by his father?
Yes, when they talked to his father about, where he was or what he was doing, the father said, well, it was locked. And when he went in there, he said there was something strange. There was also Stephan Strenz's watch was also in that storage locker, a watch that he had told his own father was actually in his room back at the house. But it turned out it was actually in that storage locker. It's unclear if he tried to put it in there or if he left it in there. But it does show that he was likely in that storage locker in that time he made that trip all the way down south in his room.
I got to go back because I missed that. I was reading the chat. We got the Oxford Dictionary in the chat. Listen, guys, I talk fast and sometimes I'm going to misspeak because I'm human. Get off your high horse, okay? Just enjoy the show and remember we're talking about missing, abused children, all right? It's a little annoying when you have people in there pontificating about the English language. All right. Should be happy I know how to speak English. Where I come from, people just say N-word, 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 N-word. Okay. I'm gonna shoot you. I'm gonna beat you up. That's where I come from. Okay. Relax. Enjoy the show. Stop pontificating. Okay. Let's keep going.
But certainly showed investigators some things that they were curious about.
And was the USB also part of what was turned over by his father?
Yes, when they talked to his father about, where he was or what he was doing, the father said, well, it was locked. And when he went in there, he said there was something strange. There was also Stephan Strenz's watch was also in that storage locker, a watch that he had told his own father was actually in his room back at the house. But it turned out it was actually in that storage locker. It's unclear if he tried to put it in there or if he left it in there. But it does show that he was likely in that storage locker in that time he made that trip all the way down south of Orlando.
So Lisa,
right. So that's really interesting, very interesting, and I appreciate the person. Did I say that right? Appreciate? I don't know. Maybe should I say that better? I don't know. The chat is. It's appreciate. You have to emphasize the E8. Anyway, big shout out to the chat. I'm just joking. I'm not mad. I like to tease people. You tease me, I tease you back. Anyway, big shout out to SG. Thank you so much. That put that to bed because I did not know that they found that in the storage room. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. I love when I'm doing the show, and this is why sometimes I have to go back and re-listen to things, because while I'm doing the show, I'm checking the chat, listening to you numbskulls, which I appreciate. You guys are amazing. I'm in my emails. I'm talking to Aki, because she's sending me important information that I may miss and stuff like that. I'm doing 1,001 different things. And so I love it when we're doing a show and the show is developing as we're doing the show. So we're doing a show, we're talking about this material, and then SG, am I saying it right? Let me see. Yes, SG sends me this email, and this email leads us in this direction to give us information that we did not have before. This is not new information. I'm not breaking news. It's just new information to me. And of course, it's a constant endeavor to be as accurate as possible, okay? And I'm trying to give you guys the most accurate and up-to-date information. So thank you so much, SG, for showing that love. And that's just their initial. Of course, I'm not going to say their full name in this live stream. So guys, I think we had a really good show today, man. I really appreciate you. Big shout out to everybody who showed love. Nothing personal, AC. I was just teasing you. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate it. It's just no love lost. I'm just teasing. Sometimes people take this stuff personally. Like, you guys see me cracking jokes on this show all the time. That's my personality. I like to crack jokes. And yet people take it personally. I'm not saying AC took it personally, but people take it personally when I crack jokes on them. Like, come on. Like I told you guys, when I first started true crime, I thought I had to be my best detective form. I had to be in true detective form. Like, today we're talking about this show and and then to me it was like, yo, this is not who you are, Strategic. You know, you crack jokes, you're a fun guy, you know how to crack jokes and have a good time, but still get down to business. That's how I'm in the real world. So it's just time for me to be me. If I'm going to be doing this long term, I need to be me. And this is who I am. And this is how we are. This is how detectives really are. All right. And be honest with you. I've worked with enough detectives from all types of backgrounds: white, black, Hispanic, gay, straight, even trans. I've worked with all manner of human beings who have decided to dedicate their life to investigating cases. And they all act the same, because this is just who we are. This is the personality type that comes into this line of work. What you see in front of Jen Soto in those interrogations, that's not how Detective Kevin really is. He's probably a fun-loving guy that loves to crack jokes, that, you know, loves to jest and all that stuff. That's who we are. So I'm going to bring that same energy to this show. All right. So this is a fun show where we're going to have a good time, but we're going to cover these heavy topics, but we're going to do it in a respectful way. All right. We're never going to make fun of victims, and we're never going to make fun of their trauma, but we might be able to make fun of the people around them, you know, who are doing bad things or who are not doing their jobs. All right. But we're going to have a good time, and we're going to educate and entertain at the same time. So sometimes I'm going to crack jokes on you, but it's never personal. All right. It's always love. All right. So that being said, guys, I promised that I was going to have the call-in feature. We haven't done a call-in in a long time. It seems everybody's doing call-ins now. We're getting jealous. We got to get back to our roots of doing call-in shows. So we're going to hopefully have the call-in show back up and functional again. The reason why we don't have it, unfortunately, is Skype is no more. Microsoft has shut down Skype. So that was our call-in show software. We're going to get the new software up and running, and we'll definitely can't wait to hear from you guys again. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to do a call-in show. So we'll see how that works, right? Pray for me, guys, so we can hear from you guys, because I miss that. I really, truly do miss it. Other than that, please consider becoming a member of True Crime with Strategic. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. Our membership offers perks that you just can't get on the main show. You get to see Strategic more personally. You get to get more information on these cases that we talk about, debriefings on these shows. We will be doing a debriefing, on this particular show that we just did. Also, the Patreon is fire, man. We do live shows on Patreon now. For my account, they've now activated doing live shows hosted on Patreon. So now we've been doing live shows only for the Patreon. It's amazing, man. And the community on Patreon is so tight and close-knit. Right? It's like really like a family on that Patreon. So please do consider joining our Patreon and our membership, and make sure if you can't afford to do any of that thing, is perfectly okay. Just do us one favor. Hit the like button and put a comment in the comment section, and I love you. I love you forever. You don't have to do nothing else. If you can't afford it, you don't want the extra content, no worries. Just hit the like button and put a comment in the comment section, so we could get into that algorithm and we could grow this channel out. You just do that, and we're best friends. So anyway, guys, I'll see you guys on the next one. I didn't even set up the outro. It's crazy. I always do this. When will I ever get it right? All right. And we're going to use the Stream Deck. I'm not going to use the mouse. We're going to use the Stream Deck. We're doing an experiment. All right, let's see if this works. See you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.